Oh. Now, if you were wondering what you just listened to, that incoherent, shaky garbage, that is a little technique that I discovered roughly 2 months ago called subharmonic singing. And you may be asking yourself an even better question, and what is this subharmonic? Now, to put it simply, the subharmonic register is when you take a note, a low note, and you mix it with vocal fry, which is like that very unsupported sound, and somewhere in the middle, you get oh, that. And that is the journey that I went on roughly 2 months ago. Subharmonics. So I could sing some crazy low notes. So this is me, less than a week, I think 6 days after trying to subharmonically sing. Oh. This is me a week after starting subharmonics. Oh, oogie boogie man. I don't know what y'all would consider that, but I'd say that was pretty good. Now, as you saw, besides that horrific joke that I made with the poorly executed subharmonics, I tried to do a version of the Oogie Boogie song by voice play. The very end of it, where the singer Jeff, he goes down to an E1. I think the note that I was trying to reach for was actually a little lower than the D1, but it still gives you a ballpark range of how my voice performs at this 1 week point on super low notes. So just bear that in mind. The Oogie Boogie Man. As you probably could tell from that last one, I improved a little bit. I think that was roughly like a week and a half, 2 weeks after starting. And yeah, that low note was still atrocious and horrible, but it was progress. It was getting there and it was good. But that's the thing. Progress is great, but then tragedy struck. Horrific tragedy to my vocal cords.
I haven't been able to practice subharmonics in a while because, well, my throat's thrashed, but a neat thing I can do now is talk really deep. Hey, Peter. No, I've been logging my subharmonics journey, and I've been out of it for a week since my throat's dry. But yeah, this is the deepest my voice has been. This is the highest that I can comfortably talk.
Well, what I didn't realize was, no, that was not dryness. Just not at all. At least from what my mom was telling me, I probably had laryngitis, which basically means I blew out my voice. Not a very good thing at all. And as you're about to see, it had some strange consequences to it.
So look at where my voice naturally wants to sit. Oh. Oh. That's an A1. Let's see. How low can I go? So I think the A1 is roughly as low as I can normally go, but it's also where my voice wants to sit. Oh.
And that was pretty cool. Obviously my voice was horrifically shaky. Like, frankly, it sounded like I was at a permanent A1 in subharmonic register. Yeah, it like wore off throughout the day, but holy cow. My voice naturally sitting at an A1 was kind of silly. Because, you know, C2 is really like my lowest chest note. So, yeah. 2 low notes lower than my lowest chest note is absurd to be talking at, but I couldn't move it around or do anything cool with it. So yeah, that was really interesting.
So I've been out of subharmonics for the past like week or two. At first it was just I was trying to give my voice a rest, you know, really try to calm my voice down after doing it for a couple weeks. And then I messed up my voice, so I could go really, really deep naturally, but I could not do any form of subharmonics because I really didn't want to stress my voice, and I could like kind of get subharmonics, but wasn't very good. Anywho, I'm back in it now, and I don't know, I'm not very warmed up or used to it anymore, so let's just see. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. That was almost it. Let's try that again. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. I don't know, it still sounds a little off, but yeah, that's my subharmonics now. I'm the Oogie Boogie Man, the Oogie Boogie Man, the Oogie Boogie Man. E1.
Now, if you listen to that, you probably could tell that that was so much better than the first time I tried that. That was roughly around the month mark that I did that. So a month after subharmonics and I was already improving my hyper low notes. That's pretty good. I've been told I'm a fast learner, so I don't know if this should be a really good ballpark for anyone to go off of, but at least this was my experience in subharmonics, and I was seeing some pretty reasonable results after a month. I wouldn't say that I was necessarily proficient at the month mark, but I was pretty good and I was getting there.
Then cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. I'm the Oogie Boogie Man, the Oogie Boogie Man, the Oogie Boogie Man. Boom. Yeah, so that's how you do it. Like the professionals. Yeah. Whoa, that was really, really bassy. That was bouncing all over the room. Ooh. Whoa. Yeah, so funny thing about subharmonics is that you'll know you're doing it right because there's a bassy resonance to your voice. If you have too much vocal fry, you don't have like that bassy resonance. It's just kind of whiny. But with the subharmonic, there's a bassiness to it that you kind of have with like your low chest voice. Unless, of course, you're a tenor, and you don't know what a low bassy chest voice sounds like. That's mean. I'm joking. I'm sorry, guys. But anywho, so yeah, it'll have like a bassy resonance. So there's a sort of bassy subtone to it that you kind of feel, if that makes any sense. Like, it's literally just like having subwoofers in your throat. Like, that's the way I describe it. is like you're picking up the low frequencies. So when you're trying to go for a subharmonic note, really try to listen out and hear for that bassy subtone. Oh.
Yeah, so that's why I told you guys to hear with headphones, because believe it or not, you can actually hear it off of the microphone, and it's hard to hear with the speakers. It's really hard to hear with the speakers, with that little oogie boogie end part that I did on that. It objectively, I think, sounded worse on the speakers. However, with headphones, that was one where you could really pick up the bass, at least the way I was hearing it. So if you've got a good pair of headphones, you know, just use those to hear it, because believe me, once you hear it, you'll know what you're looking for the subharmonic note.
Greetings, friends. I'm meeting you all in a very dark location. So, because I forgot to even really show you the entirety of my range. Sorry. Yeah, you probably can't hear that, but I can squeak out an A flat, -1, -1, A flat, whatever you want to call it. I can squeeze it out of my throcal cords. So yeah, there's roughly my vocal range. Yeah, so it's a little chopped. So yeah, 6.5 octaves. Boom. Boom shakalaka. Month and a half of subharmonics, and I increased my vocal range by 2.5 octaves. Singable, it's more like 1.5 octaves. Singable range.
So yeah, since recording that, I really haven't recorded anything else on my subharmonics at all. But that gives you roughly an idea of where I am a month and a half after subharmonics. I can hit those turbo low notes. You can hear them, you can understand them. Would I use them in music? I could. I think I could use that in music. Is it going to be main vocals? No, it is not. But I would say after 2 months of subharmonics, I can basically pull it out on a whim so long as my throat is clear. And yeah, I'd consider that a success. 2 months, that's how long it took me to get to this point where I would consider this to be a skill that I can use. It's in my head, I can pull it out, so long as I have a clear voice. I'll get more into the specifics on what at least my voice needs to exact subharmonics in my breakdown video of subharmonics. So watch out for that. But yeah, I am going to make a sequel to this video where it is literally the opposite, where I am going up, up, and away with whistle singing, because I know a guy who has done whistle singing and can get up to, I believe, a C7. So yeah, there's that. And I did a little bit of digging on whistle singing and all the intricacies and stuff like that. And based on how my natural range is kind of broad, and how I do have, I'd say, reasonable control over my voice, based on my research, it does sound like, while not impossible, very unlikely that I could get up to a D8. But oh baby, that is where I'm going. I will literally find any way to get up off of the piano because I think that's hilarious. As a natural bass like myself, being able to go down, down, and down, it's cool, right? But you can't really project subharmonics, and it's not officially considered a part of one's natural vocal range, which I do think is a little sad. Because whistle singing, on the other hand, is. Whistle singing is officially considered part of one's vocal range, which is why Mariah Carey is considered a soprano. Even though, at least in my opinion, when you listen to her normal notes, I can hit those notes. Most of the notes she sings outside of the really high ones, I can hit those. Do they sound really good? Not necessarily, but I can hit them. As a bass, I mean, granted my vocal range is 4 octaves naturally, but I can still hit those notes. Which means, naturally, I'd say Mariah Carey is an alto. Which means, if she's widely considered a soprano, that's just from whistle singing. Which is considered officially part of one's vocal range. Which means I have to get a D8 because that's funny. And so if you want to see that video of me going through whistle singing, or if you want to see my breakdown on subharmonics, you should really consider giving me a subscribe, turning on the notifications. That way you know whenever I post that video. I'm expecting it to take maybe half a month to a month. I've had a very busy schedule, but I will try to get it out as fast as possible. So there you are. That is my subharmonics journey after 2 whole months, and I'd say give it a whirl. And with that being said, I will catch you all later.